Hi everyone, this is Rachel, also known as Moonlight Library, no space. So I'm going to talk to you today about one of those little things called if you like this, read read this. I'm going to be doing it with books and movies. Okay, movies, if you like this, no. If you like this book, then don't read that movie. If you like this movie, read this book. I have a couple to go through with you, and yes, it is horror themed, it is scary themed, it is weird themed, mainly horror. It's October. There's a pumpkin. Hello, let's get started. No, that doesn't make sense. No, I am going to start with the movie. The book? The order is not going to matter. It's going to be random and we're going to all like it. I guess I'll start with the book. Let's start with the book. If you like American Psycho by Bret, Easton, Ellis, this can go both ways, let's just say. This American Psycho, I feel like most people know the plot. A corporate businessman starts killing people, primarily women. Yes, men too. It's a kind of a story about corporate greed, consumerism, the image of the self, and stuff like that. It is almost satirical about business in the sense of killing people. I don't know, there's a really good business card scene. The book is really freaking good. It is like throw up in your mouth good in a way that I did throw up in my mouth reading this. Does that make it good? I don't know, but I did really enjoy it. It was disgusting, it was disturbing, it was everything you want from a book that's going to give you nightmares for the rest of your life. That's this. Wonderful. I would say watch the movie, but that's too obvious. So we're gonna go with Lars von Trier's newest movie. I think it's his newest movie. It's called The House That Jack Built, with Matt Dillon. Uma Thurman's also in it. It's creepy. It's also about a psycho and manipulation of people. It has a lot of the same themes, I guess, with like how these men perceive themselves in the world around them and how they kind of interact with the world around them. It is disgusting, it's bloody, it's gross, it's horrifying. It is like nightmares for the rest of your life. You know, both of these. So go read that, or go watch that and go read this. They mash up real well. The next one I'm going to do is another one I own. I don't own all of these. Is, oh my goodness, sorry. House of Leaves. That's not the cover. Let's see. There's the cover. It's like this. House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. Yep. You can just put it all together. Tape. I could have taped it, I guess, but I think I heard that the cover was made to fall off. That's what is happening here. No cover. It's kind of really heavy. So I feel like a lot of people have heard of this book. It is like weird. It's got some really strange looking pages. I'm like trying to hold it, but it's so like flimsy. Weird pages, strange stuff going on, like what is what? It is about a man who buys a house that the house is so much more than a house. It is a frame inside of a frame, this book. So it all starts by this one guy who finds a manuscript. The manuscript is basically a dissertation that this dead man wrote that is about a movie he saw that's a documentary about this man, Navidson, who buys a house, and the house is real weird. It's very like staircases and weirdness, and it's like the inside is bigger than the outside somehow when they measure it, and it gets weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder, and it's so good. Oh my God. It is a lot to get through. Most anxiety-ridden book I've ever read. I had a hard time finishing it. I thought I was becoming a paranoid person during reading this. Horrifying. So what I'm going to subscribe for you to watch is this new movie called The Lodge. The Lodge is this woman and her 2 stepchildren go to this lodge, and the husband leaves at some point, and all this weird stuff happens in this lodge, and it's like, what's going on in here? They become snowed in. They don't have cell service any longer. They're like trapped inside of this place. It's a blizzard and it's scary, and it's like, how do we get out? What is going on? Who's bad? Who's good? It's insane. Yes, these don't fully have a lot to do with each other, except for houses and weirdness and stuckness and strangeness. So I'm gonna compare them. There you go. I compared them. You're welcome. That's a heavy book. The next thing I'm going to recommend, Rosemary's Baby, the book. I just read this one, and I think it's Ira Levin. It was so good. Obviously, we all know the story of Rosemary's Baby. Maybe we don't. Woman gets pregnant, living in New York. This is like in the 50s or 60s with her husband, and there's some weird shit going on with the neighbors. And her husband's interacting with them. She seems paranoid. What's going on with her baby? Blah, blah, blah. This is scary. Like, is she being paranoid, or is something actually going on? So for that, we're going to take 2 aspects. If you want young woman who is being consumed by other people and being made to be crazy and a lot of stuff going on with, and innocence being taken away, Neon Demon is a great one. It's models. It is Ella Fanning. She starts living in, I think, LA. She wants to be a model, and she just starts getting consumed by other people and what's going on with these other models. It's demonic, it's scary, it's weird. The lighting is beautiful. But yeah, that one is good for the consumption of innocence. They have a lot to do with each other in that sense. The other one is, so what happens to Rosemary's Baby after Rosemary's Baby's a little older? We're gonna say Mommy Dearest is a good one. It's about, I think it's set in Sweden? Sweden? Maybe? It is these 2 children, they're twin boys, are creepy as fuck, and their mom is like nowhere to be seen, and they're doing really freaking weird things, and woo, scary people, scary times, creepy children. Yes. I'd say watch it. Is this a great recommendation? You know, I don't know. You know that I don't know. I thought it was weird. I thought it was horror. I thought it was weird. Yes, weird. It was a weird horror. Foreign horror. Next up, We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. A lot of people have read this. A lot of people have liked this. I saw the movie. It was horrible. It's about these 2 girls. One of them's older, like more adult age. The other one's still teenager, I think. Her name's Kitty? No. Don't remember. Mary Cat. Her name's Mary Cat. Their whole family was poisoned at one point at a dinner at before the novel, and they're still living in this house where this happened. The whole town kind of hates them. They're weird. It's family dynamics. It is like all sorts of things going on there. I thought it was scary. I thought it was creepy. I really liked it. So I'm going to say, watch the movie Stoker. Stoker has, who does Stoker have in it? It has Nicole Kidman in it, and Mia Waikowski? What? Yes, her. It has her in it. And it has a guy in it, but why can't I remember who he was? It has a guy in it too. So it's about this girl, and she moves in with, I think it was it's her uncle and her stepmother or something. She's living with her stepmother. Maybe I shouldn't recommend this movie because I don't remember what it's about. I just feel like it was like family dynamics. It was weird family relationships. It was strange in that sense. It had a lot of like weird dynamics, and the girl was creepy. The backstory was creepy. Her father had died, and whoa, I feel like slight similarities. Slight similarities. Next one is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I loved this book. 80s, horror, weird, like, I don't know, kind of like pop horror. We're gonna call it pop horror. It was fun, it was weird, it was creepy, it was exorcism, it was demons, it was possession, it was like, you know, the whole exorcism scene, you're like, what? So 80s, so retro. I loved it. I'm right now reading another Grady Hendrix. Read Grady Hendrix. He's great. But we're going to also do this one with two aspects. The first aspect, if you enjoy the exorcism part, I'm going to say The Taking of Deborah Logan. I kind of thought this was going to be another one of those stupid exorcism movies, but it was not. I love found footage. Yes. I love horror. Yes. So this was both. So in other words, I freaking loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun. I thought it was scary. And it was creepy. It was like an old lady and like all this stuff. Yes, this one is teenagers in high school, but this one, old lady, creepy, weird, weird, weird. Like, ew. Ew. Watch it. Other aspect, if you like the 80s horror vibe, I'm going to recommend you a show, not a movie. American Horror Story's most recent season, 1984. Summer Camp? I think it's just called 1984 or something. That was a really good season. It was like campy. It was pop horror. As I said before, do people say that term? I don't know. Maybe that's my term now. But it had a lot of stuff going for it in that sense. Yes, it had that American Horror Story thing where it's like good, 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 and then kind of dives at the end. But there are a lot of good moments in it that have that like that camp, that weird, that strange that I really liked. I had fun. I had a great time. It made me go backwards and start watching other American Horror Stories that I didn't finish because I didn't finish a lot of those seasons. Yes. The last one, I'm going to do the thing that I didn't say I wasn't going to do. The Ring by Koji Suzuki. Suzuki? Yeah, Suzuki. This book was insane. I loved The Ring. I love that movie. So I'm going to tell you, if you like this movie or this book, or if you like this movie, read the book. Back and forth. It's a trilogy. I haven't read the other ones, but I did enjoy this. It has a lot of the same stuff going on. It's kind of a detective because it's like, where did this movie come from? If you haven't heard about this, it's like someone finds a VHS tape, watches it, and within like a certain amount of days, they die. I think it's like 7 days or something. And then this journalist comes across it. I don't remember if he's a journalist in this, but Naomi Watts is definitely a journalist. I think her name's Rachel too. Maybe I made that up, but do love it when main characters' names are Rachel. That's my name. So they have a lot of the same elements, but at the same time, it has a lot of other stuff going on. He has a friend in this one that is creepy, weird. I don't like him, but gosh, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's like, I feel like I ran right through it. He is a journalist. It says hardworking journalist, but it takes you around Japan, and because obviously there's Ringu as well, which I don't think I ever saw Ringu. I don't really remember if I ever saw Ringu. Maybe I should watch that. Maybe I'm recommending stuff to myself. Yeah, this is me recommending to me. But I enjoyed both of these. I thought they were really good. They were good companions. It was a nice take off of this. I did read this and then rewatch Ring and I loved it just as much. I thought it was just as good. I had just as much fun. Wonderful. Yeah. I should read the rest of this trilogy. Okay, so thanks for coming to my talk about book and movie recommendations that are, if you like this, do this. Ow, my shoulder cracked. Follow me on Letterboxd if you want to see the movies I watch. I think I have like over 2,500 movies logged, so you can keep up with my movie watching. I watch a lot of movies as well. Kind of fun. Sometimes I'll write a review even. Who knows? This is MovieTube. I'm kidding, it's BookTube still. But I'll do more if you like this. Watch this because that's kind of fun. Thank you. Have a good day.